Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Solep and I am sitting president of Polish Rifle University. And welcome to this emergency video because just 3 hours ago the PTR was updated and it was updated for the last time. Since then, Warcarft is just guaranteed to either revert the change or change some numbers. Nothing new is going to happen, and the patch is going to hit for as early June, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going in this video to show you what changed in a very fast form because I prepared for you an Excel sheet. So let's go with human. As we can see, there are some icons because it makes it more clear for me, and the more green color the better. The more red color, it means that it's something bad for you. As you can see, undead is suffering. But let's start with human. First change: sundering blade lumber cost reduction from 175 to 150. Of course, I'm going to just touch the new things in this PTR number 3 iteration, and I would like to remind you that sundering blades now on the live server are like a default upgrade that you get for your knights. But in the previous PTR iterations, it was like changed. Now you need to research it, and now it with the lumber cost was a little bit decreased. It doesn't really matter. It only matters versus undead. But in Human Mirror, it doesn't. And in other matchups in 1v1, you don't see many knights. And now the most important part, ladies and gentlemen, Rifleman HP increased from 535 to 545. And you may say, Sol, it's only 10%. It's only 10 HP, it's like 1.8%, but you make a lot of rifles. And of course, myself, I'm a head of Polish Rifle University, and we are celebrating this change we are very happy about this change. Of course, it will help human because human likes to make rifles in 1v1 in standard versus orc, in other matchups as well. So it's a buff to unit that you make almost every game. Speaking about maybe now less popular units, we have Dragon Hawk Rider, and its base damage was increased from 15 to 19. So it's basically you give +2 to every +2 cloves to every Dragon Hawk. And Dragon Hawk are the best with anti-air units versus like Wyvern versus big air chimeras, Gryphons, Frostworms, and usually they are not attacking; they are just casting shackle, and while channeling the spell, they cannot attack. And the damage from the spell is very strong. So this change, I think, is in blue because it won't change anything, in my opinion. Small buff to the Blood Mage. Flame Strike now, channel time of Flame Strike, time reduced from 0.9 to 0.8 seconds. And I think it's a good quality of life change because sometimes you move your hero a little bit too fast, and if you move your hero a little bit too fast, then the channel will be like broken and your spell won't go off, basically. So it is a small quality of life change. And of course, Blood Mage is not that popular, and as a second hero, usually is built for mana, siphon mana. Also, if Polar Rifle is not that important, so it's a very small buff. Control magic mana per summoned hitpoint units reduced from 45 to 35. It means that it's cheaper now to possess a very big summoned units, and it can be useful versus Farseer level 5, versus Archmage level 5, versus maybe Beastmaster. But I would like to remind you that Control Magic is a tier 3 upgrade, so it's not that easy basically to go there, but it's some option for the late game versus, like as I said, Farseer level 5. But I think it's in blue because it won't change the meta. And now a little bit sad news for the orc players. They have been waiting for Taurens on tier 2, and it was a lot of discussion in the community about this, and Blizzard decided to change to basically make completely revert the change. So Taurens are going back to tier 3, and reduced build time basically was reverted as well, because the idea was we are giving you Taurens on tier 2, but they will be a little bit weaker. They will take a little bit more to produce, to train, but now it was reverted. Speaking about Taurens, small buff to the movement speed, and actually Taurens now are getting stronger, the tier 3 Taurens, but as we saw in the meta, Taurens are like super rare. You never see them in like professional games. So of course this is good because it's much easier now to micro Taurens, to put them like in density of enemy units, to make sure that pulverize have a good like area around it. So this the AoE damage spell from the Taurens, but yes, it's not going to change much. Small nerf to the Serpent Ward because its base damage was reduced from 47 to 45, and I checked on Wikipedia and it's above when Shadow Hunter is on level 5, so it's about Serpent Ward level 3, and on professional games it only happens very rarely versus Night Elf, and level 5 Shadow Hunter is super rare, and I think it won't change much this nerf. And you Shadow Hunter can just go for healing on level 5 as well. But now there is a big buff actually to orcs, because to my surprise, actually meta undead versus orc, and I'm speaking about meta professional games, focus versus happy and so on. uh, Orcs are playing mass wyvern with bats and lame and try to fight, and now experience of the wyvern was reduced, so experience that killing wyvern gives to your opponent from level 4 to level 3. This is a big change because we know that undead hero levels are scaling very well in the late game, like 5 DK, 5 Lich. That's very scary versus mass wyverns, and this above versus undead. And last change, a little bit of a meme change. They are making Demolisher faster. No one is building Demolishers, so it won't change anything. Now let's go to the Night Elf that got the most amount of changes. So I was excited for the bottom right click obnoxious heroes like Pod Mass Archer tier 2 with Naga right click hero strategy because of Searing Arrow buffs. The damage of the Searing Arrow was buffed, and also was most important, the mana cost. But now they reverted the mana cost. It was 40% cheaper and now stays the same. So I think it will kill the POTM strategy. So it will be possible in the Night Elf mirror as is used to, but not in other matchups, not even as a troll strategy. And then again, big nerf because as Force of Nature mana cost increased from 85 to 95, and on the live patch it's 100, so the Keeper is getting 5 mana discount, not 15, and I think that Keeper is not going to be competitive with Demon Hunter because like 5 mana is too less, but 15 mana, that was interesting, because if you are keeping Keeper, creeping the Keeper, you spawn like 3 times, you spawn Trians 3 times before you get level 3, so it won't change much, and it was big nerf because it kills the Keeper, like Keeper gets less competitive. Tranquility, which is like a Keeper of the Groove ultimate, and in solo there is no ultimate. Of course, there's very epic game, Jens versus Leon in Warcarft 3 Champions Finals, but yeah, one game with Tranquility. And now, a little bit interesting change, buff to the Warden, and first of all, okay, so buff is going into the spell, Fan of Nice, this AoE spell, and the first change is their change amount of targets. So let's say you are making 20 peasants and you are going to surround a warden with 20 peasants. If warden use Fan of Knives, there will be 6 targets only. Okay, so warden will hit 6 targets now on level 1, because in the past it used to hit only 5, but also on level 5 it will hit just 6, so it's getting to like the same amount of targets, 666. But also they buffed the damage cap, because there is a cap how much damage basically warden can deal to target, and this is not a like huge change. This is a change on level 1, but I think on level 1 doesn't matter. Warden is like a creeping hero when Night Elf goes Warden, either versus undead or either versus a human. Night Elf will make double Ancient of War in different spots to like really power creep Warden to level 3, and then Warden will start using Fan of Knives. So I think that this buff to level 1 is not very impactful, and it's a very small buff, and it's like better to fight like units, not too lame, okay? Because like I think it doesn't change that much the breakpoints versus peasants. but its change may be something if you fight undead. It boosts your damage versus fiends, for example. And now quality of life change. Wisp HP increase from 120 to 130, and it breaks some, for example, undead harassing strategy. So if undead hits skeleton with undead skeleton hits wisp once, now coil is not guaranteed to kill it. But the DK hit plus coil is still a guarantee because it's just 10 HP. But still, it's a quality of life will be easier to escape with your wisp. For example, you are scouting and like you forgot about your wisp and militia is trying to kill it now. You have more time to react. And the big buff, in my opinion, is coming. Natural Blessing, lumber cost reduced from 200 to 150. And actually, we do see this upgrade often in Warcraft, especially, I think, versus human, because Night Elf can expand there. And this is a quite big discount. And it improves like quality of life of Night Elf a lot. Of course, I cannot go into detail because I just don't know. But I remember that this is not a meme upgrade. This upgrade is being used often, and 50 wood is a big discount. And last and least, actually, glaive thrower movement speed increased from 220 to 240. Of course, in the Night Elf mirror, sometimes we see glaive thrower, but it's a mirror, so it's balanced. So who cares about this? It's buffs a little bit those mass hands, glaives, alien strategy, but it's not a big deal. And now, ladies and gentlemen, undead, a lot of red color in front of us, but we are starting with a big buff. So there is a Haunted Goldmine, so the undead expansion is getting up faster by 5 seconds. And of course, you may say it's not much, but it really helps you to avoid your expansion being cancelled, you know. So it's a buff, and undead is expanding quite often, especially versus human. But now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of red color. Red start with the curse. Curse can no longer target mechanical units again because it was reverted. And it was to basically late game tanks in human versus undead matchup are strong. Okay. And there was an idea by Blizzard to basically uh, give Banshee's ability to cast Curse on tanks, and Curse is like very strong and lasts very long, but now they just reverted this change. And there is nothing to say about the duration of Curse, because duration of Curse was also touched before on the PTR. We don't see it, we need to test it in game, but it's a big change, so human versus undead will stay strong. And now I think this will be reverted, ladies and gentlemen, because Blizzard said it still can be reverted. Wand of Negation, the new item in the undead shop, now has 5-second cooldown, and I don't like it. This item has only 2 charges, and you want to buy it and use it while you are tier 2 before you have destroyers, because when you have destroyers, there is no point to invest a lot of gold into an item like that. So when you want to use it, you want to use it when, for example, Archmage someone is summoning 2 water elementals and is like staying in your base, making your life miserable. So you would like to spend this 200 gold or something, but be able to dispel elementals quickly. And now you have a cooldown. But you may say, okay, so it's still manageable. It's still manageable. But no, there is a nail to the coffin. Wand of Negation now requires Temple of the Damned. This is the Necromancer building. The caster building for undead, no one's builds it, especially on tier 2, because it kills so many timings. You need to go tier 3 not to build Temple of the Damned. So I think it will be reverted, in my opinion, because it just kills this new item. No point. Okay, important change to the Ghoul Frenzy. Ghoul Frenzy movement speed bonus reduced from 80 to 50, and I saw some Mr. Don Dalore talking about this with Neo, that basically attack speed on ghouls is like not that important. What is important is that ghouls can just chase you because they are so fast. And now Blizzard is nerfing them, and they are not going to be as fast. Ghoul Frenzy research time reduced from 60 to 50 seconds, and this is basically on live server. It takes 45 seconds, so they gave 10 seconds to the Ghoul Frenzy. And by the way, I didn't include here, but there is one thing missing about the Ghoul Frenzy as well, because they reverted the change to Ghoul Frenzy. And I will show you how do you make Excel live, basically. So they reverted the change to attack speed nerf, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just make sure that everything is here. Is it small? Okay, this is actually small. This is actually, let's put it in green. So ghouls are going to attack faster, as fast as they do on live server, but they are going to move slower. So I heard that the movement speed was the problem here. So bittersweet news for the undead in general. It's a nerf to the frenzy, that's for sure. Now, interesting change. Frost attack duration on heroes increase from 3 to 4 seconds. And Frost attack is the ability of Nerubian's tower to slow, because Nerubian tower is not only applying damage, it's also slowing down. And it gives you more slow on heroes. And this is important only on top level, because, for example, when you are being attacked by 2 heroes and some army, if you are a very good player like Happy, like other undeads, from top, you can basically use your Nerubian tower to slow down one hero and then change the target to another hero. And I heard they are trying to do it, right? Of course, you need to micro so many other things. So at my level, it's not going to happen. But this change is for very skillful players. And for the players like me, I just click on one hero and it's getting slow forever until it's in the range, and it basically gives me 1 more second slow when hero is trying to escape. So like for medium players and for the beginner players, it's not a big deal, but for pro players, it may be. And last but not least, for the undead army, abomination base damage increase from 32 to 34. And okay, it's a buff, but how many abominations do you make in the game? Like 1, 2? It's a very small buff. It's like, try to buff ghouls like that. Oh, you make so many ghouls during the game, and this damage will add up, but Abominations doesn't really mind. Now, one controversial, ladies and gentlemen, neutral change, because we have a Goblin Zeppelin food cost increase from 0 to 1. So, like, first of all, it's a little bit weird, in my opinion, because, like, there is no, like, mass Zeppelin strategy. You always buy only one, and the fact it doesn't cost you any food doesn't really matter. And I heard that in FFA is important, because now to buy Zeppelin in FFA, you need to actually have free supply, so it's not that easy to hide buildings, because you can use Zeppelin to hide buildings. You basically move your workers in Zeppelin, you drop one, you build farm, and you fly away with other workers, right? But in 1v1, I think it's basically nerfs laming strategies. So, and usually with laming strategies, you have free supply, maybe some crazy strategies like double Zeppelin drop, but it's like a troll strategy. It's not meta. It doesn't change much on pro player level. And now, bittersweet news, ladies and gentlemen, the circlet. I put it in green because for Pala Rifle players it's very good, but for for Demon Hunter, there were games where Demon Hunter was trying to buy 2 circlets, and look at the price increase. It's like 75 gold more per circlet. So like Demon Hunter buying circlet, Blade Master buying circlet, Lich buying circlet. It's so expensive now. So all of those heroes that like to have a lot of damage, a lot of survivability, because circlet gives you +2 to every main stat. Now it's like, I think it's not worth it. And Gloves of Haste, so it's like the item is like so you never know, is like very good or very bad, but it now gives you more attack speed bonus. But as I said, you put this item, Gloves of Haste, on like Blade Master, on the Lich, on Archmage, on Demon Hunter, but now you put the item, but you are missing the circlet, so like it's not going to be worth it. So the circlet change is actually big, and it can be it can be reverted as well, because maybe some backlash from the community. And we got a long list of creep changes. And ladies and gentlemen, you may say, Sol, but there is mana burn value here. No, no, no. It's mana burn ability for creeps, not for the Demon Hunter hero. If Demon Hunter mana burn would be changed, it will be here in the Night Elf category. This is for creeps. And you may say, Sol, but I have never seen creep mana burning me in 1v1. And this is true. All of those changes, not including one, are doesn't matter in 1v1. And for 1v1, there is one change. Pulverize, so ability of a sea giant that is present on Tide Hunters, so 1v1 standard map. The damage from Pulverize was reduced, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not, if you are going to clip this camp with militia, with footman, with ghouls, you will get less damage if the Pulverize goes off. So it's only changing one map, and the last, like, Centaur Impaler armor type change from heavy to medium. And HP increase, like, it's like a 3v3 mob, 4v4 mob. It doesn't matter in 1v1. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to see those changes. It kind of sucks for the orcs that they don't get their towers on tier 2, and of course for Rifleman might be problematic, but who knows, ladies and gentlemen. There are some new toys for every race. You have some green, some red, and of course undead are probably not very happy about the patch, but we will see. It was me, Soul ApeMan. And remember, I think that this Excel shows basically in a nice way what has been changed, and I'm going to record another video about the master lock changes, so everything what was changed, because that is just a new stuff. And if you will have a friend that is interested about balance changes, feel free to send him this video. It was Soul ApeMan, sitting president of Polish Rifle University. Bye bye.